Drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
Welcome to SAPUI5 training session. In this training session, we will be seeing CVOM charts. In SAPUI5, we have something called charts. If you want to have a pie chart or if you want to draw any bar chart, then we'll be using these charts. So we'll see in this session, we'll be seeing how to plot a graph. And these graphs and charts can be customized also. You can have your own pie chart control. You can have your own bar chart control. Previously, what it used to be in 2012, there was no Viz charts concept. Now latestly they have introduced Viz chart. So previously we used to have our custom charts in 2012. Now we have a concept called Viz charts. So Viz charts can be a column, bar, etc. So we'll see the types of Viz charts and how to plot a chart. So these are the charts which were available before. That is called a bar chart. So if someone wants to draw a bar chart, then they used to use sap.service.visualization.chart.bar before it used to be. Now it is sap.viz. Viz is nothing but visualization. Whenever we talk about charts, then they'll be saying like we have to use Viz charts. Okay, there's a term called Viz charts. So that is nothing but sap.viz. And we have a line chart, pie chart, combination chart. It used to be before. Now there are 14 different charts that we'll see now. So how a pie chart looks like this, a pie chart looks like. How the bar chart looks like is this. And it is a horizontal. So if you want to have vertical bars, then that is nothing but column chart. And if you want to have a line chart, so here is a line. So we can have a combination of line and bar chart as well. So here we'll see two different examples. Usually CVOM pie chart example is available here, but if you want to extend it, we can extend it with extend keyword. And this CVOM charts will have a data model which will accept every control in SAPUI5. Can, like table, chart, anything can be linked with any model. That can be JSON model, XML model, or OData model. So how do you set it? Set model. So if you want to create a test data, you can do it. So here is a sample example kind of available. You can try by yourself. Here what is trying to do is we have taken variable. See, it has been cleared. See, first this is for your exercise. You can practice. Create an array with test data and set it to a JSON model. And new SAPUI.model.json, and then bind the model data to a table and define a simple DM data set, that is nothing but a variable, and set it to the data table. That is nothing but data set in visualization. The same concept we'll be using in Viz also. So now instantiate a pie chart. Chart, O chart, it's an array of elements. Like JSON is always a key pair values. Key is column, countries, and value is Canada. And like this, similarly we have for the key countries, all countries, we have different names: China, France, Germany, India, United States. And we have another key value is profit, and its value revenue value. Similarly we have, and next in a variable, what we have taken a data table. That is, how do you do it is with a new keyword. That is nothing but you're creating a data table, and then you're binding it with a text view. So sap.ui.commons text view.bind property, text is country, all countries. You're binding it to this table, and in this table you'll be adding a column, add column, and to this column you'll be adding a template called country, and you'll be called country and template, you'll be giving this text view. And then similarly we are doing it for the next column, profit, and then another column this, and simply we are taking a JSON model, and to this JSON model we are setting up the chart data, and that will be binded to the O data table. And then O data set we are taking, that is nothing but SAP service.visualization.dataset.simple dataset and dataset set model. So this will give a clear pie chart. Now similarly we don't use SAP.service anymore, it is replaced with SAP.viz. Okay, so we'll try now a few examples in chart, and before this we'll see what is viz chart. Okay. This is a viz, this is an SDK where you can get all the controls. So there are 124 controls available right now, so I'm going to use a viz. So this 124 means 124 libraries are available, like sap.viz, sap.m.button, sap.m.bar, like that. So many available like this. That is called entities. Okay, we can search here as we know. So viz frames are 14 types. So there are, see, these are the charts available and the samples. So first we see sap.viz, UI5 controls, and there is a viz framework. This is how we use the library called viz, and this is a component of BI via CVM. So why we have this component name is, whenever you have any problem with this control in future, you can use this component name and you can write to SAP, and they'll try to resolve the issue if you have any issues with the control. If you can find any bug, so just report it with this component name and your description. And form factors are compacting, and category is chart, like this. It inherits from base control. Obviously there should be a base control where all the charts are inherited. Everything will come with a base chart, and this is available since 1.22. so that is what, when we mentioned when we saw SAP.service in the slide, so that is a way older version, that is in way 1.12 versions. So now it's 1.22 onwards. We are not using any more SAP.service. Now we are using SAP.viz from 1.22. Now the latest version is 1.26. So how do you get the latest version? You have to click F12. That will go to in debugger mode. In this debugger mode, you can always check sap.ui.version. Okay, this will give you latest version, that is 1.26.6. Now here is the few examples you can see. So the first one is bar, and the next one is bar with semantic color, and then is tagged bar. So bar with responsive legend, column chart, stacked column, combined column line, bullet with forecast and additional values, line with conditional data label, bubble chart, time bubble, popover formatter, extension flag bar. These are all different types. So we'll see each and everything. So what is a popover formatter is, I'll be showing you. Whenever you have any bar, so if you want to have a popover, when you click on that any particular, if it is a column chart, if you want to click on each column, then you want to show the data, populate some popover kind of. So then we will be using popover formatter. So in that we can format all the data. So here are so many examples. So we'll start with bar. So once you click on bar, so then it will be navigating to the sample bar chart example. So that will give you a clear picture of overview what a bar chart is about. So bar chart is always horizontal way. So if you want to have a vertical one, then you can use column chart. So here is a bar chart. So we have, see, like this. So here what is trying to do is trying to represent an item category, and he's trying to represent each one. Pop. So in New York, how many people are using pop music? And in San Francisco and Washington, etc. So rock, and similarly a different way of representation. So I talked about popover thing, right? So when you pop over it, click it, then you'll get particular popover stating that which column you have pressed and what is the revenue, if you want to have a revenue, because this is the revenue which we are showing. So 268, 281, 822, 821. So it is a round figure which has been formatted. So this is an exact value. And here also you are showing, like, see, 268 comma 822. This is also a formatting thing. So we'll see this graph how we have to code it. And when you click on Washington, so that will give you all orange one. It will be highlighted and 13 values have been selected. This gives you the selected values count. So similarly, you can have San Francisco also. So 13 values selected. If there are 12 values, then it will show you 12 values. If you click somewhere, the highlighted will be gone. See, when we click New York, see, only this New York will be highlighted and rest city will be highlighted. I have selected New York, so New York is highlighted. So we can close this now. Okay, now how do we get this kind of code? There is always sample snippets which is available. So show code, this is available always. So we can use. So there's a view and controller. So even we have to do a view and controller for our. So we'll see what are the available projects, so we can make use of them. So there is SAPUI.app2. So SAP.UI.app2. So we're going to create a new one for now. So right click. How do we create a new one? Right click, a new project, and in this project we can type SAP application project, and when you say next and create an initial view, that is nothing but SAP with charts. Okay, SAP with charts, and I'm saying next, and I'm going to create an XML view that is nothing but bar chart. And I'll say finish. So once I say finish, it will create a folder structure like this: sap.wiz.charts, and inside this web content, etc. So we already know. So in this view.xml, we're gonna place that particular code. So we'll go there and we'll copy inside this, and we'll copy this and we'll paste it here, and we're gonna save. So we are using Viz, but there is no Viz namespace, so we have to include Viz namespace. So that is nothing but sap.wiz.ui5 Viz. Okay, once we include Viz, that will go sap.wiz.ui5 controls. I missed controls, so we can use we have to use controls dot. So this is a library, so this is how we include. So save it, and then we'll go to the controller. So in this controller we're gonna paste this code, copy and go there, and the bar control we have to place it. I'm going to uncomment this, and then I'm going to place the code, and I'm going to save. So once it's saved, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to format Control Shift F. I'll give you the formatted one. So what is the error? Okay, we'll see what is the error here. Yeah, the error is gone, and now we'll have to get the model. So we'll create a model here in this chart. So we'll create a model folder, and then say finish. So inside this, the new tab and SAP. So here we give you a new thing. This is a JSON. We're gonna copy this JSON and we're gonna paste it inside this model, new file, and then this file will have a mock data.json, and I'm going to finish this. So I'm going to paste the code and I'm going to save it. So mock data.json, I've created a file. Now close it, and here I'll change the rename the file is mock data.json. I'm going to save it. So now I have to run this application, SAPUI5.charts. So once I right click it, and I'll say run as on server. Okay, if not, I can directly have a web app view also. Okay, so once I have a web app view, I'll have a different port. Usually when you say run on server, it will be 8080 port. Now this will be loaded, and once it's loaded, we can see the bar chart. So usually Tomcat server will ask for restart or anything. That's fine, but when it comes to web app preview, it won't ask anything to restart. It directly creates an automatic new port, and it gives you localhost in this index.html. Yeah, we'll see. Why inspect.element, and it says the control is not available. So we'll see which version it is. My Eclipse is 1.20, so I have to upgrade it to 1.26. So how I do it? I'm going to use a remote URL, index.html. I'm going to have resources. I'm loading it locally. I'll load it from a standard SDK. So this is how: https SAPUI5.netviewer.ondemand.com. So we can use a remote one. That is the latest one. Always this has the latest version. So I'm going to refresh this. So once I refresh, and it will be loading all the libraries from SAPUI5.netviewer.ondemand.com. And once it's loaded, so it will be loading the popover, formatter, with chart libraries and all controls. So mock JSON is not available. Okay, we're gonna check the data, mock data. method one or not. So we check JSON linked. So there's a problem. See, when you load, it says some HTTP error. So problem in accessing slash model, this one. Okay, so we have to use this one in a bar controller. We forgot, see, model, so it is checking in this web content folder. So our model is in SAPUI5 charts. So we have to give this and we wanna save it. So once we save it, we're gonna refresh it. So this creates a new port, right? So now it should come. So still loading. So once it's get loaded, so initially what we have done is we have created a view and a controller. Inside the view we have written some code, and then in controller we are controlling something that is related to viz charts. So we have created sap.viz.ui.ui5.controls.bar. So for this bar we have taken a data from the mock data. So in this mock data we have list of cities and its values, and each city have a different category like a pop, rock, etc. So each category have values. So each category will be in every city. See, like New York City, the action movies, how much? Like 469 378. So like this. So we'll see how this has been done. See, this is revenue and this is item category. Okay, so it's up to 60k. Okay, so now how this coding has been done, so we'll see that now. So first, it always starts with view. So we'll go to view first. So this view, you know, right? From index.html we have to give the view path, that sap.viz.bar. It automatically gets created when you create an initial view. So you don't have to write explicitly this kind of code. So it's always have a template which will come with like this. So it's always create an empty folder. So inside that folder it will be a view and controller automatically loaded. So in this chart, go to bar.view.xml. So in this XML we have included a namespace called viz. So inside this viz we have given sap.viz.ui5.controls, and we have taken a viz framework and we have given an ID to it, and to this ID we will be controlling. With this ID we will be controlling in the controller. So to this we have given a controller name called sap.viz.charts.bar, and then UI config. So in this UI config we have an application set. So inside this application set, Fury. So this is an object. How do you write an object inside this? Is UI5 config accepts an object. So application set Fury, and there's a viz type. It's always a bar for the bar chart, and you can change it accordingly. And then a width I'm setting, and height is 700 px, and then I'm closing it. So this is nothing but you are writing, nothing but instantiating the view here with view properties. So ID property you have taken, UI config, and viz type. So viz type will give you a list of available charts, that is bar, column, and etc. So now we have given a bar chart here. So this is compulsory, sap.viz type you have to give. So because you are going to draw a bar chart right now, and we have setting a width and height. That is simply we have given these properties in the view. And now we have to go to a controller. So what we are trying to do in the controller. So in this controller, we are getting a first on init function, we are getting a Vis framework, whatever we have given, a Vis frame bar. So if you want to go to XML, you can check the date ID, C ID. So I'm getting the view by ID, this framework, Vis frame. So once we get the Vis frame, we're also getting the popper dot id popper, and then we are setting a model. So how do we set the model? So first we have to get where the file is. So new SAPUI.model.json.json model, because I'm using JSON model, and it's always recommended to use JSON model because XML is not that recommendable, but it is available as per your project demands. You can use. So I'm taking a local JSON model, and to this JSON model I'm passing the URL where the mockdata.json is available, and this will give you a model with that data whichever is available in mock data. And then I've taken a data set. So similarly what I've seen in the slides, first frame, then model, then data set. Now to this data set you'll be linking with that model and frame, Vis frame. So data set is, how do we declare data set? Data set is nothing but what dimensions you want, what measures you want. So what are these measures? See, x-axis and y-axis are nothing but dimensions. So to these dimensions you want to add measures. X-axis, what do you want? And y-axis, what do you want? So x-axis, in our example we have values, that is nothing but revenue. So revenue, what it gives, 30k, 20k, etc. Those are values. And y-axis, so y-axis is nothing but your categories, item categories, right? So item categories, and the item categories is divided into different types: pop, rock, action, etc. So this each category will have a city linked to it. Okay, so which we see dimensions. So the dimensions you will be seeing in the y-axis, and the measures you will be seeing in the bottom x-axis. So x-axis name is revenue, and the value you are binding is revenue. And similarly the dimensions are item category, like rock, action, pop, etc. are item categories, and name which you are binding is each city. So New York, like that. And then what you're trying to do is you're setting that data frame to a Vis frame. Set data set, and you're using this data set and you're setting model to it. Simply you're doing it. Okay, so we'll see first what is model, mock data. So there is a book. In this book we have a item category. So item category is action movies. So wherever the action movies are there, it will be categorized into one, like New York, San Francisco and Washington. So action movies, New York, San Francisco and Washington. City, profit, unit available, cost. These are different properties, but we are using taking a revenue. So revenue is 469378, but in UI we see a formatted version. See, 49,592. So that is nothing but US representation. So how are we going to format it? That also we're going to see now. So to this revenue, this value comes like 469378. So we'll go to the controller right now. So we have set a data set to this framework. First we have taken a frame, this frame, that is bar, and to this bar we have added data set. So what is data set? Data set gives you a clear picture of dimensions and measures. So what are the dimensions? Dimensions is towards your left, you will be seeing an item category, and each category will be grouped into, and then each group will have a city. So it is grouped into cities. So x-axis, each category like action movies, pop, rock will be grouped into cities. So it will give you city values. City, what values it will give? Revenue, which is generated by that particular city. Suppose New York generated on pop some revenue. So that value we are trying to show. So dimensions. So now the primary values. So we have to say a primary values, and we can give the labels, access labels like this. So I have taken a variable called feed primary values. To this primary values I am adding feed items. So in this add value, like this is how you add a feed item. So you give UID primary values, and type is measure, and the values, all the measures will be in this particular ID, primary values ID. So we have to give primary values, access labels, and region color. So the colors are nothing but cities. New York will have one color, and Washington will have one color, and San Francisco will have one color. So we are defining the colors over here, and each category will be having a labels. So that also we are doing it here. So this will give you the and the value revenues will be see. This labels we have to define. So we are defining there. That's how these are all grouped and showing it like this. And this value is also revenue. So primary values, feeds we say, and this feeds we are setting a format string, that is U. So once you format the string, so this will get USA. This means, so use set with properties value access. So access values will be formatted U, and the plot area data label visible and format hash comma hash 0. That means it gives you a US format. This is how the formatting of string is done. So data label visible true, and format string gives you that notation like 2 lakhs. So 2 comma 00 comma 3 zeros, etc. And legend is always true, but we are making it false, the title. So if you want any title, you can set it to the true and you can have it. So legend is nothing but towards your right, you're seeing this legend, right? So this is nothing but a legend, and this has a city related legend, and once we select any legend, this will be highlighted. So item categories and revenue. Okay, so now O was frame, we are setting a best properties like value access, that is USA format we are setting, and then what we are trying to do is we are trying to plot area. Inside this plot area we have a data label. So inside this data label we have a visible false by default. Now we are setting it true, and we are formatting the string like a number comma number 0. So this means it will be formatted to US. So is fixed data point size? Yes, true. So legend title visible false, and title we are giving revenue by city and item category. So we'll go there. So this is revenue by city and item category. This title we are trying to display. So we'll go here. Yeah. So now after this creating all the feeds, we are adding it to the viz. We haven't added it. So we have just taken a feed primary values, we have to add it. Feed primary values we have taken, and access labels, feed color, etc. How do we connect? This is which is a O popover, which will give you the popover when you click on each column. So this is how it is done. So this is how simple SAP bar is plotted. Similarly, we can do a different charts also. So now I want to have a column. So just change this type column. Okay, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to refresh the page. So once I refresh the page, now how it changed? So from bar to column. See, haven't done any much change. I've just changed one type, that automatically you see Washington, horror movies, revenue, so and so. So we'll see how we have done so far. So first we have taken a view, and in this view we have placed a framework, this frame, and in this frame we have mentioned which type it is, and we are controlling with the controller. So in this controller we have OVIS frame, and this gives you the instance of that particular frame, and then we are setting a model, and in this model we are setting a dimensions and measures, and the data we have to bind. So we are setting up the model here in this line number 34 we are setting, and we are defining the primary values, and then feed access labels and feed color. So three variables we have taken: feed primary values, feed access labels, and feed color. So we want to have what different colors for what. So we want to have different colors for cities. So that's how we mention here. And if you want all the access labels available, so what are the access labels? So we are also defining the access labels item category, and then we are defining feed primary values. So primary values are nothing but the values which we see 30k, 20k, etc. So that's right. So all we are defining here. After defining, we have to set it to the WIS frame. So how are we going to do it? And we're going to do it. Before that, we are going to set the label and format text, legend available, and given a title to it, and then we are adding feeds. So like this we have a different feeds. Okay, I'm going to change it to bar once again. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to do F5, so it is automatically gets reflected. The changes whatever I have made, it gets reflected here. So this is how the WIS charts are plotted. So we'll see the properties of WIS charts. So these are the properties we have used to see WIS charts. So this WIS type has been like see. Now it's bar, column, etc. So we have pi also. So pi, we don't know whether the data whatever we have mentioned will be available or not, but we'll try with pi here. So yeah, so this is not available, the pi. See, SAP is not defined. This is how the charts have been drawn. Similarly, we have a different charts too. So aggregations, etc. So in this property we have a different types of properties. So there is scale. Scale is nothing but an object, and WIS properties we can have a chart related properties, and WIS type and types you can use a different types. Now we have seen a bar. Similarly, you can try by yourself the other charts. So this is how you do with the WIS. And aggregations, it's always data sets initially, and then feeds. Feeds can be n number of feeds. So in our example, what we have taken feeds. So we have taken primary values, and we have taken access values, and then we have set a color, and then events. So render complete event. If you want to select any data, so if you want to fire anything, so you can fire this events. So render complete. After the chart is rendered, you can throw this event. So we can define it when you define a WIS framework. And similarly, we have a methods like set get. So how do you set get WIS UID? Similarly, we can set it WIS update, which will update the JSON model. WIS selection, when you select each chart instance, then get responsive legend. So these are all samples available. You can try by yourself, like bar with semantic color. If you want to change semantic color is nothing but colors, feed colors, which we have taken. If you want to change, you can change. You can try other examples like stacked bar. This is one more bar, and bar with responsive legend. This is one more availability. And the column charts we have seen. Just we have changed one name from bar to column, so automatically the charts got reflected and shown us the column chart. And same with others also: stacked column, combined column line, bullet chart, bullet with forecast, etc. So bullet charts are nothing but bullet dots will appear instead of columns, like horizontal or vertical columns. Like kind of bar, you'll have a bubbles. That is nothing but a bullet chart. So you will have a bullets kind of. So bullet chart will have a gap enabled one. So bubble charts will give you a bubbles instead of bar. So this is how you create WIS charts. Okay, you can try this solution by yourself, and then we can move on to the next topic. So in this session, you have seen so far how do you create a WIS, and how we're going to use a sample code which is available for you. Depending on your requirement, you can change it. So wherever you want to place this WIS. So now basically you'll know how to use WIS chart. We have seen bar and column. Similarly, you can try for bullet, you can try for combined chart, you can try for bubble chart. So thank you for listening, and in the next session we'll see how do we optimize UI5 code and how we're gonna do, and that will cover the debugging tools also.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.